We are expecting this to be until 1:45 p.m. So if you are in the Cypress area, you want to just be indoors and not really outside at the current moment. I'm going to go ahead and step off screen here so we can get a closer view of what this storm is doing, but just kind of going closer, you're seeing lots of lightning moving in towards the 290 corridor in the Cypress area, and the National Weather Service has just issued that tornado warning just moments ago, and you're able to see on your screen off at Highway 99 at Tuckerton the torrential rainfall that's currently happening. Not really a good place to be right now on the highways, as this area of rotation is starting to move closer towards Cypress and in the 290 corridor and in around the Tuckerton area, maybe the Town Lake area. You are able to see mostly that this area of rotation is going to be continuing moving closer towards the Cypress area within the next few minutes, and so we have to just keep an eye on that rotation as we head into the next few minutes. So looking at the rotation detector right now, as we look right now, we are seeing more so that this tornado warning is now showing. It's like we're missing a little bit of data here with the last scan, but we are seeing a little bit of rotation that is currently just to the southwest of the Cypress area. And so just to keep in mind that if you are in northwestern Harris County along the Grand Parkway in 290 in the Cypress area, Barker Cypress exit, maybe the Spring Cypress exit, just keep in mind that we are expecting to see this tornado warned storm, and you're able to see on your screen those cars that are coming to a complete stop on the highway right now. And so torrential rain, very high winds, and that rotation is making its way into the Cypress area currently right now. And so really for folks in northwestern Harris County, not really a good idea to be outside as this area of rotation is currently moving closer towards the Cypress area. As here I go, I got my data back right now. So right now we're seeing more so of that rotation passing the Grand Parkway currently right now, but also south of there, we are also expecting this to continue. It's more so of a northwest or northeastern movement in and around the Tuckerton Road area. So if you are in Tuckerton, near Tuckerton Road, the Town Lake area, Fry Road, just to the west of Highway 6, we are tracking a storm that does have the possibility of actually causing a tornado out to the south of 290, and this is moving directly towards the northeast. This is going to be in place until 1:45 this afternoon. We have lots of lightning, some very heavy rain, probably making it extremely difficult to drive out there, and you were able to see on those cameras that we were seeing some issues with folks that were on the highway currently right now. But as we look at the current rainfall, it's like our data is coming in and out in terms of looking at what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and show you that the entire area is under that tornado watch, and currently towards the rest of tonight we've seen quite a bit of rainfall within the past couple of hours, and we are also looking at this lightning that currently is moving into the Cypress area. Some very dangerous lightning going in place, moving in closer towards the 290 area, even around just near the Barker Cypress West Road area, even near Highway 6. So looking right now at that tornado warning, just kind of going in and refocusing on what we're looking at right now. We're looking at a tornado warned storm that currently is in place for northwestern Harris County, which does include the area of Cypress and portions of 290 for the next few minutes. So definitely expecting those conditions to continue. It's more so of a northward movement as we head into the next few minutes. So Cypress, 290 Northwest Freeway, just to the northwest of the Sam Houston Tollway, you are able to see a pretty severe or strong storm that is now moving in closer towards the Cypress area. You have lots of lightning. We do have that area of rotation that is currently moving closer towards the Cypress area. So really not a good idea to be out on the roadways currently right now, as we are expecting this to continue at least for the next few minutes here as this storm crosses the Highway 290 area. I'm going to go ahead and look at our rotation detector, and this is usually just really looking at where the rotation is right now. And the area that I'm looking at is currently near just to the east of the Grand Parkway area, and this is what we're looking at, that rotation. So this area that is currently moving off towards 290 in and around the Barker Cypress area. This is the Town Lake area. We really have to just be indoors and not be outside and away from windows inside the most interior portion of your home or structure that you are at, because we are expecting this to continue at least for the next 25 to 30 minutes, with that rotation moving in closer towards the next few minutes. So looking at Barker Cypress area, we are expecting to see more so of this very strong storm that's moving into that area. But so this is looking also at Tuckerton Road at the last check. We're having some data issues of our rotation detector data moving in and coming in and out. But just keep in mind that we are looking at that rotation near the Fry Road area, Tuckerton, North Bridge and Lake Parkway, Bark just to the east of Bark. There we go. We're getting another scan right now, and this still seeing where that rotation is at currently, as that rotation is currently moving off towards the northwest. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you how long this storm will be moving into certain areas across the next few minutes. So as we look at this situation in terms of where that rotation is at, I think we're going to see this continue that more of a northwest track, at least until making it into the Reno Elementary School area at 123, Houston National Golf Club at 129, 136 at Dry Creek, 140 at Little Cypress Creek Preserve, and then even closer towards 148 at Lakewood Elementary School as this storm continues. It's more of a northwestern track, and then by 2 o'clock we could start seeing this approach the 249 highway going closer towards the Tomball area. So that's what we're looking at in terms of right now, is we are tracking this tornado warned storm that is currently moving into the Cypress area. We're also looking at another area of rotation behind that. This is to the north of Sealy right now. So Sealy, just to the north of Sealy, there is a little storm that's right there that is causing a little bit more of a concern. The National Weather Service has not issued any type of tornado warning for that one right now, but we are expecting this to continue at least for the next couple of minutes, and definitely expecting this to continue in and around the Cypress area at least until 1:45 this afternoon. And so there's lots of rain, some very heavy rain, and lots of dangerous lightning with this storm that is currently moving into the Cypress area in northwestern Harris County, and that's why the National Weather Service has issued that tornado warning until 1:45 this afternoon. You're able to look at your screen right now. This is looking at, as you see the Houston TransStar cam off to the corner of your screen. This is showing the Highway 290 West at Spring Cypress. You're seeing that heavy rain, and I think right now it's just really not a good idea to be out on the roadways, because we are seeing that heavy rain that's going to cause some issues in terms of impacting travel hazards north of 290. If you have any travel plans, maybe just hold off for the next couple of hours. But we are definitely expecting this severe weather outbreak to start moving into our area, which we're seeing right now, going into around the closer towards the 2 to 3 p.m. hour. Take a look at your screen right now, looking at 290 West at Cypress Rose Hill. You're able to see just really not really good visibility out on those roadways currently right now, as those cars are just currently coming to a crawl off the 290 highway. And this is really the reason why, is because we are seeing that rotation moving into the Cypress area currently right now. Looking closer at that rotation to see where looking at the wind speeds in terms of that, right now we are definitely expecting to see these conditions start to deteriorating for the Cypress area. Right now rotation is not looking too impressive in terms of the latest scans here, but we are still dealing with some travel hazards in terms of the heavy rainfall across that area as we go into the next couple of hours. So keep that in mind. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Jeremy Rogalski with an airport update currently happening right now for those travelers making their way out of Houston.
Yeah, Chris, as we've talked about, you talked about that storm moving from the west to the northeast. We do have confirmation that there is currently a ground stop at Bush Intercontinental until 2:30 this afternoon. Again, travelers beware. If you're heading to the airport, your flight is likely going to be delayed. That ground stop in effect at least for another hour and 10 minutes or so. We are efforting a count of total planes that are affected and delays of any flights among the different airlines. Chris, I wanted to talk about if folks are watching in this area as these strong storms move through, let's go over again exactly what they should be doing in terms of where should they go inside their home, that important public safety information, if you can go over that again.
Yeah, you know, it's when it comes to these storms that are moving through the area, I think for the most part we are left definitely, you know, wanting to be in the centermost part of our houses or structures. It's really not a good idea to be out on the roadways right now. And in terms of the safety, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lightning right now so we could see where this rotation is at. And right now the heaviest rain is now moving over the 290 area, in and around the Cypress area, the Barker Cypress area, Town Lake, that area that you're looking at, that heavy rain and dangerous lightning. Lots of lightning strikes happening right now. And there's also the National Weather Service issuing that tornado warning because it's very well possible that we could be looking at this storm potentially spawn a tornado as it's continue. It's more of a northeastern movement for the next couple of hours. And so for folks that are currently across the northern portions of our viewing area, especially out in Magnolia and Montgomery, there is also another storm currently in Montgomery County that the National Weather Service has just issued that special weather statement for. And so we are definitely expecting this to continue. We are not really out of the woods yet. This is a part of the initial boundary of storms that are moving through. It's really not, we're not going to be out of the woods yet until these storms that are moving through the Austin area are going to be passing into the Houston area going into later on today. And so you're able to see on your screen there that folks are being impacted if you are northwest of Houston. And so the camera looking at the Houston TransStar camera at 290 Northwest at Muskee, they are coming to a stop. Some folks are a little worried to continue driving in these conditions because what we're looking at right now is this very heavy rainfall and lots of lightning with this storm that is continuing to move into the area. So I think for folks that are out there driving, it's just really not a good idea to stop on the roadways if possible. Definitely for the most part to get to off the highway or somewhere safe because it's just really not a good idea to stop on those freeways or be on the freeways currently at the moment. You want to have a little bit of a plan of escape there in case that the weather conditions start deteriorating more significantly than what we're seeing now across the northwestern Harris County. I'm going to go ahead and turn our lightning back on. Lots of lightning strikes currently moving over the Cypress area in northwestern Harris County, and we're also looking at the potential for some rotation with this storm as we head into the next couple of hours. So wind speeds right now, we are looking at currently, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the scan moves through here. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a better picture of what's happening in terms of where that rotation is. It's still to the southwest of the Cypress area in and around just the north of West Road. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little closer into where we're looking at. So if you are on Fry Road, maybe west of Highway 6, that's where we're seeing that rotation currently, and this is currently moving towards the northeast at around 30-35 miles an hour. Looking at 290 Northwest at Cypress Rose Hill, you're able to see that in the corner of your screen of just the very horrible visibility issues and the issues that they're dealing with out on 290 currently right now. And those cars and vehicles are coming to a crawl at the moment as we're continuing to see the effects of why the National Weather Service has issued this tornado watch that will be in place until 7 p.m. So right now the storm that we're looking at is northwest of Houston. So if you are in northwestern Harris County or northern Harris County, you really need to be keeping an eye on this storm because it does have a tornado warning until 1:45 this afternoon as we are seeing some rotation. We have lots of lightning, some possible hail with the storm with it. I'm going to go ahead and look at the hail currently as we look to see if there's any significant large hail with this as it continues. It's more of a northwestern track, and it looks like that there is some hail with this storm, and which is really creating another ingredient that tornadoes usually you see with storms that have tornado type warning. So you're able to see maybe pea-sized hail moving over to 90. I don't think this is really significantly damaging, but just keep in mind that it's very well possible that these storms usually could increase the hail size as they continue to gain strength going into the next couple of hours there. But tornado warning still in place for the Cypress area until 1:45 1:45 this afternoon, and that's still in about 20 minutes. And so as we look at to see where this rotation is right now, we are expecting this to continue at least until 1:45, as we're seeing this torrential heavy rainfall moving over northwestern Harris County with quite a bit of lightning with it as well. So lots of lightning. As we look at the lightning counter here, we are looking at 416 lightning strikes within 15 minutes that are happening simultaneously. So this is continuing its track towards the northwest. Lots of lightning over Cypress. I would really just suggest to not head towards the Cypress area if you are in Houston, or if you are making your way out to the Cypress suburbs there, because we are looking at a very strong storm that currently is in place, and that is causing some issues across the 290 corridor, as you're able to see on your screen, looking at 290 northwest at Mushki. So vehicles are coming to a crawl, lots of heavy lightning, and so we have not heard if there's a confirmed tornado, but the ingredients are there. What we're looking at, that we could see this potentially spawn some rotation like we've seen with this storm within the past couple of minutes. So looking at the situation right now, National Weather Service is saying that there is an inch diameter of hail with this storm, and this tornado warning does include portions of Waller County, and so we are expecting to see this continue at least until the next couple of minutes here, as this now is going to go ahead and just turn off our lightning to see where the strongest part of that storm now is still moving over the Cypress area. So if you are along 249, the 249 area just south of the Grand Parkway, the Willowbrook area, even north of Sam Houston Tollway, are now included under this tornado warning. So this is continuing to move off towards the northwest for northwestern Harris County and portions of North Houston. And so we are expecting this to continue for the next couple of minutes. And you're able to see on your screen, we're showing you the Houston TranStar cameras right now of the horrible visibility conditions on the freeway. So really not a place to be. I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Jeremy Rogalski on one other update.
Yeah, Chris, of course, all of this, as you've been mentioning, moving towards the northeast, right in the pathway, Bush Intercontinental Airport. According to the FAA, the IAH Bush Intercontinental has an active ground stop at least until 2:30. Information shows that the average delays are 75 minutes for flights departing from Bush Intercontinental. 75-minute delay. The probability of that continuing, we're told by the FAA, is between 40 and 60%. United Airlines, the most affected, with 107 flights delayed. American has about 10 flights, Frontier 6. Again, departure delays averaging 75 minutes at Bush Intercontinental, as that severe line of thunderstorms and that tornado warning moves, Chris, as you mentioned, from the west towards the northeast. 2:30 is the window for that ground stop, but again, the FAA is saying there is a, quote, medium possibility of extending that ground stop. So obviously it's a domino effect in terms of travel. Once you have a ground stop, things start to stack up, and those 75-minute average delays could be extended depending on how things go this afternoon. Also, Chris, if you can mention, right in the pathway here, we have Klein, we have Tomball, we have Spring, Champion, Forest. The Weather Service, Chris, is only having this tornado warning till 1:45. Do you have any gauge on whether that's going to hold, or if that might be extended, or is that still up in the air?
Yeah, I think that's still going to continue at least until 1:45, if not later, because the National Weather Service has now extended this for more communities in portions of northwestern Harris County. This is a live look right now, looking out of our roof cam here at the KHOU 11 studios. Just the ominous gray clouds that are currently off in the distance. This is looking off towards the northwest, so this is where those storms are. And so just keep in mind that we're still tracking that tornado warned storm that is now in place for portions of northwestern Harris County until 1:45 this afternoon, as the more of the higher rainfall, the torrential rain, very dangerous lightning is now starting to impact the Highway 249 area. So if you are in the Vintage Park area, even along the Lakewood Forest towards north of the Sam Houston Tollway, you're going to have to really keep an eye on this storm. Even Cypress Wood, looking at this, the lightning now moving into that area. And so this storm has a history history of having rotation with it. We have not had any confirmed tornado at the current moment, but we just know that the ingredients are there as this storm continues its track into northern Harris County. And this is looking at 249 at Perry, just right past the Prince of Peace Catholic Church. That is currently showing those gray skies. There's still mostly dry conditions on the roadways, but we're going to start seeing this storm moving into that area at least within the next 15 or 20 minutes. I'd say at least maybe the next 5-10 minutes is when you're going to start seeing more of that heavy rain moving into 249. And that's also looking at 249 in Perry, and you're able to see those skies out there, mostly just very gray and ominous. I know there's a large construction area along Highway 249, so it could be a little bit more hazardous as cars are trying to merge into two lanes as they're trying to replace that center barrier. I think that's between the Sam Houston Tollway and 1960, and I think they ended up increasing that construction area just past 1960. So be extra cautious right now traveling on 249 as this tornado warned storm is now about to impact that area closer to portions of the Willowbrook area. So this is some dangerous lightning. We did have that rotation moving into portions of Cypress. I think for the most part that Cypress is now seeing that rotation past them, and so those communities that are in between, I believe, Louetta, off of the Louetta Road, even closer towards portions of Spring Cypress, is now we're starting to see this heavier rainfall moving into the 249 area as the rotation has now passed the Cypress area. So looking closely right now, I'm looking at some definitely some weakening in terms of what we're looking at, but I still think that for the most part that the rotation has gotten a little bit more broad within the past couple of minutes. And so as we take a look at the storm structure of what we're looking at right now, we are looking at more of this sort of couplet type signature that really is just giving us the sign that this storm is definitely severe as it continues its track closer towards the 249 area. So looking at the current moment right now, we are looking at Cypress, and this is looking at the weather tracker with that tornado warned storm. This is looking at inbound at 290 at 362. I believe this is near the Waller area, and so you're able to see that rain starting to improve for that area as the stronger part of the storm is now past 290, but we're now looking at the possibility of more of these downpours that are now moved to the west of Cypress, or to the east of Cypress rather, and we are definitely expecting that to continue its track towards the 249 area as we head into the next few minutes here. So looking at the current situation in terms of our weather conditions here across Houston, I think Houston for the most part is quiet, but it's not just too far to the north of Houston, where we're seeing this tornado warned storm that currently is moving into just past the Cypress area, now moving closer towards 249 in the Klein Spring area, the Glenlock Forest area. Those are some of the neighborhoods that we're looking at in terms of south of the Grand Parkway. That's where you're starting to see more of the stronger storms moving into those areas across, along to Louetta, maybe even along Spring Cypress, closer towards 249. And so just keep in mind that the National Weather Service is still keeping this tornado warned storm until 1:45 p.m. as we are seeing some 1-inch diameter of hail with that storm. But looking at the latest scans, it's looking at the rotation has definitely weakened just a bit, but I think for the most part that this storm still has very strong characteristics in terms of what we're looking at right now. But looking at the situation in terms of the lightning, we have a very dangerous lightning now moving into the Cypress Wood, the Klein area along Cypress Wood south of the Grand Parkway. Even the Champion Forest area is now looking at this dangerous lightning. I don't know if they can hear me in the control room, if you could probably load one of those cameras that were along maybe Perry Road or maybe Boudreaux Road. That's where we could probably see more of the heavier rainfalls. This is the tower cam looking off towards the northwest, and that is, you're able to see the lightning strike that you just saw right there off into the distance, but we are still seeing this pretty strong storm now starting to move into the Klein area to the east of Cypress. Cypress. And so this is looking at that at those pretty ominous clouds currently moving over just to the north of the city. So I wouldn't really travel on I-45 north or 290 north, or maybe even on 249 going northwest of town, because I think that for the most part that this storm is actually heading straight for the I-45 corridor. And that's what we're looking at right now, as the heaviest of the storms are currently moving over the 249 area, in and around maybe the Perry Road area, maybe also along just looking north and south. And the good thing is that we are expecting this to end for Cypress, but this is just already moving off towards the northeast, and we are continuing to see this potentially cause some issues for folks that are out in northwestern Harris County, at least into the next couple of minutes here. So definitely not out of the woods yet. We are still tracking more of these storms that could potentially move into our area through the next couple of hours, as we are looking at the initial boundary, which is currently draped off towards the west of Houston. It's not going to really be until these storms make it past us until we finally are out of the woods, and that's not going to be at least until the next couple of hours. So that's what we're seeing right now, is that we are seeing that tornado warning storm now in place for northwestern Harris County, and the National Weather Service is keeping that in place until 1:45 this evening, and we are seeing an inch diameter of hail with this. I'm going to go ahead and turn off our lightning so we can see the communities that are seeing the heaviest rainfall. Usually where you're seeing more of those pink colors, the North Eldridge Parkway, even along to the west of 249 is where we could possibly see more of that heavier rain, and also where the hail is located with this as well. And so looking closer at, wow, look at that. Look at the 249 area near Grant Road. You're just able to see those clouds moving on in. Right now the rain doesn't look too significant, but you're just able to see that that cloud, that shelf cloud, moving on in, and that is going to really just a sign that the weather conditions are about to deteriorate for the northwest Houston area along Highway 249, and as well as just the south of Tomball. So that's the south of Tomball, in and around the Willowbrook area. I think for the most part that we are seeing more of that heavier storm activity and dangerous lightning now starting to move into the Spring area. So if you are in Spring, keep in mind that this is heading towards you and heading towards 249, and just know that there is a tornado warning in place for this storm that is now moving in if you are seeing the storm approach you in northern Harris County. And this does have the potential for having some rotation with it, and we've seen some rotation signatures on radar. We have not seen a confirmed tornado with this, but just keep in mind that as you see on your screen there, as that camera, the Houston TransStar camera, is showing, look at that, how those clouds are moving closer towards, I don't know if they could take that camera full screen, 249 in the Grant Road area. If we could take that camera 249 in the Grant Road area on full screen, this is about to show something pretty significant here across the Highway 249, as that cloud is sort of getting a little lower right now. This is, I don't want to go and safe to say that this is a funnel cloud, but that is something that's really concerning. When you start seeing those clouds start getting a little low to the ground, like we're seeing right now, and that little, that sort of a rotating signature that you're seeing with those clouds as they're able to move into just the over 249, this is what we're looking at right now. Yeah, this is some rotation that we're currently looking on camera right now off of 249, about to cross over 249, as we are expecting to see this funnel cloud. That is a funnel cloud that you're seeing on your screen right now, moving over 249, and we're seeing that continuously start moving southward over 249, and then that's near the Grant Road area, near the Willowbrook area, and that is really something to really, wow, that is impressive as this continues to move over 249 and around the area. Jeremy Rogowski, go ahead and what are you thinking about all this?
Well, we're talking to various law enforcement and first responding agencies, Cypress Fire Department. We are told, Chris, just in the last few minutes, has reports of signal lights out around 290 and Telge. So that's the area that had just crossed, as you've been tracking this for us all this afternoon. That heavy band of thunderstorms just crossed that 290 area. So they're already seeing some traffic signal issues, the Cypress Fire Department reporting to us. No other weather damage reports have come in just yet, but obviously we're keeping a close eye on that and monitoring the situation. A lot of headaches and hassle, though, for travelers perhaps looking to get a jump on their Thanksgiving vacation plans.
Jeremy, if you could, sorry about that. I'm just going to go ahead and give you the update from the National Weather Service that I'm looking at. They have now confirmed that this is a tornado that has been observed in and around the Northwest Houston. Really what you're seeing right now that's passing over your screen. I don't know if they can pop me up on radar, or not on radar, but on camera right now. If what we're looking at in terms of, or pop me up on camera in front of the camera, but it's okay. You could go ahead and go back to that camera if y'all are able to. Sorry about that. But if you could just make that full screen, what you're able to see right there is where you see that the parts of that funnel cloud that is moving over. It just crossed 249. I don't see it touching the ground, but that is where the moment, the area that we're looking at. And as you're able to see that very ominous rotation sort of just dipping from the atmosphere as it moves over Northwest Houston currently right now. So just go ahead and make that full screen if y'all want, but I just thinking that as you're able to see that go closer towards, this is 249 looking at Grant Road, and yes, that is a funnel cloud associated with rotation that is occurring with this storm. And so it's looking likely that the National Weather Service has now increased this this area of tornado warned area. This is now including a larger portion of northwestern Harris County or northern Harris County until 2:30 until 2:30 this afternoon. And so we are expecting that to continue at least until 2:30 with this storm that is currently moving over northern Harris County right now. So if we could pop up radar right now as that system is currently moving off, this is the new area that we're looking at. This is in portions of northern Harris County. This is the new tornado warned area. We have seen this on air. We have just showed you that this rotating cloud that is moving over the Northwest Houston is headed towards the Grand Parkway, over Champion Forest, even closer towards along Cypress Wood, even closer towards moving off towards the 45 area. So if you are in the Spring Klein area moving into or in northern Harris County, just keep in mind that we are expecting this to continue at least until 2 o'clock this afternoon for North Houston currently at the moment. So definitely expecting this to continue. We are looking at the latest scans right now of what the rotation is looking at, but we are definitely impacting or seeing this impact a large, some major area roadways across the area that currently is moving into northern Harris County. I'm going to go ahead and take a look here what the National Weather Service is saying, but we are seeing a new circulation that of course, as we look at for what's been keeping an eye from this system, it's looking like that we have actually had spotters confirm that this rotation that we were just looking at has made contact with the ground, maybe just briefly. I'm not entirely sure if that contact is still there, but we did see this briefly make contact with the ground according to a spotter from the National Weather Service, and that currently I have not heard any reports in terms of any damage, but just keep in mind that this area of rotating clouds and the rotation with this storm, with that funnel cloud associated with this storm, is now moving in towards the spring area. And so there you see like a different little area of shade of with this new warning that was just issued. And that's because that this has been an observed tornado from a spotter, a trained spotter with the National Weather Service, and that's what we're looking at right now in terms of this new area that they has just issued. So this does include 249, even along the Grand Parkway, now portions of Spring, south of Spring along 249, south of the Woodlands. The Woodlands is actually included in this, and so just keep in mind that we are now seeing those conditions now clear off of 249 in Gessner. That's in the Willowbrook area, but we are definitely expecting this to continue. It's more of a northeastern track at least into the next maybe 15 to 20 minutes here as that storm is moving off and already past Cypress. If you're in Cypress, you're probably seeing the skies clear up a bit, but for northern Harris County, we are seeing those ominous conditions now just bring some heavy rain, some lightning, and we did see rotation. We have confirmed rotation on radar. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and we're taking a look at the weather tracker right now, and this is inbound at 290, about to head closer towards the 249 area, if I'm not mistaken. And so if we're able to take that full, and you're able to just see those clouds off in the distance of how ominous it looks out there, as it heads towards where this tornado warned storm. And so if you look towards the right or to the left of your screen, you're able to see where that rain currently is as this continues a more of a northwestern track here, but we are expecting those roadways to become pretty wet. They are pretty slick out there, and so I think for the most part, if you are north of Houston, it's really not a good idea to be traveling in these conditions as this tornado warned area continues moving towards the spring area, and the National Weather Service is keeping that in place until 2:30 this afternoon, and so we are expecting that to continue moving to be in place at least until 2:30. So this is really just we're not out of the woods yet, and I think for the most part that if you are traveling north of Houston, we are seeing this to continue. I'm going to go ahead and as our weather tracker here is about to take he's about to take the Grand Parkway exit going north, and you're about to see more of the storm structure from our weather tracker that's currently heading directly towards that storm on the Grand Parkway, which is heading towards the Tomball area. Look at that. You're able to see those clouds and where that wall of rain is off into the distance as folks that are currently driving, the folks that are, yeah, there you go. You're seeing a better view of the storm from the outside. This is in Cypress, and they're leaving the Cypress area and they're heading directly towards 249 in the Grand Parkway area, and you're just able to see the wall of rain that's off into the distance and these ominous clouds that are currently across the area. And so, folks are driving a little slower, but you're just able to see, from the distance. You don't have to be in the storm. You could probably see these storms from the Houston area as you're able to see now, but you're able to see, I think those are mammatus clouds that are currently over. And usually when you see those mammatus clouds, look at that. That's 249 in Chasewood Park. That's in the Vintage Park area. That's the near the Kikarillo Mishra Preserve. That is really just showing the darkness and the ominous conditions as that storm is continuing to move past 249. I think that's the outer edge of the storm. I think that this is the storm that's actually leaving that area. That is leaving this area that you see right now, but this is moving closer towards. So as we look at radar, and so kind of comparing it to where you see on your screen, that's 249 in Chasewood. So that's about right around here. I think Cypress Wood is right there. Then you have Chasewood Park, you have Loetta around this area. That's the storm, that camera that you see is the storm actually leaving that area. And now as we take a look closer where that tornado warned area is, it's closer towards the Grand Parkway in and around the spring area. So if I can go ahead and probably tell the control room to look at cameras along 45 in the Grand Parkway, I think that we could start seeing more of the conditions along 45 start deteriorating across that area, especially as we head into the next couple of minutes here. So as we look at the situation in terms of rotation to see if what rotation is happening, we did see that rotation. National Weather Service, what I just told you about that rotation that we saw on camera just about a few minutes ago, National Weather Service is confirming that. That was clearly visible rotation from this storm near 249 in Grant, and the spotter that was watching that system was not too far from that. So I think for the most part that spotter did see this make contact with the ground. But as we look at the situation right now, we are expecting this to seeing this more of a rain-wrapped situation. So I think for the most part that the current situation with this storm is that you're not going to be able to see this rotation, but with the circulation that's currently happening over portions of northern Harris County, I know we just saw that briefly, but I think for the most part that we're now starting to see the situation become rain-wrapped as it continues this northern track. So even if you try to go out and see if you see rotation, you're not really going to see it because rain is falling too heavy in the area as it's making its way off of Grand Parkway in the spring area. So you have near the Woodlands, near the Grand Parkway, even for portions of the Montgomery County are now included under that tornado warning, which we are looking at right now. And this is I-45 North at Cypress Wood. And I know I just showed you that storm was leaving. Okay, this is looking at I-45 North in Loetta, looking pretty ominous out there. And this is where that storm is headed. If you see those gray clouds moving into that area, just keep in mind that this storm is actually headed towards you, and you're able to still see some wet roadways across I-45 North in the Hardy Toll Road that's near the Bush Airport currently right now. I think for the most part, this is looking at Hardy Toll Road, some more of these angles that are currently moving, they're currently trying to track to see where this is at right now, but you're able to see more of these ominous conditions starting to move. This is I-45 North in Rayford. I think this is the area where we're going to start having to be paying attention to within the next few minutes, as rain for this area is about to become a lot heavier, and you're about to start seeing more of that dangerous lightning moving into that area within the next few minutes. The good news about this, though, is that we have seen less lightning with this storm, and so that's just a sign that the storm is potentially weakening just a bit, but we still have some very heavy rain and some dangerous lightning with it. You're able to see the lightning strikes currently with this storm become currently within the next few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and look at our situation in terms of what we're looking at right now of roadways. Just keep in mind that as we head into the next few minutes, we are expecting to see these conditions start deteriorating for the I-45 north area within the next few minutes. So just keep in mind that we are expecting this to potentially start impacting the Woodlands area maybe within the next few minutes. So not looking at any debris on detector right now. Not even see any debris signatures on our debris detector. I was just looking to see if that tornado actually caused debris to be lifted out into the air for the most part. And so I think we're seeing a new update now coming in from the National Weather Service with this storm that is currently moving into northern Harris County. It's looking more likely that they could start potentially increasing the area of this storm. I think that we've seen a little bit of weakening with this system as it continues. It's into the spring area, but for the most part, this storm has a history of producing that tornado across northern Harris County. Go ahead and send over to Jeremy Rogowski for more on what's happening elsewhere across Houston.
Yeah, Chris, thank you. And again, it bears repeating some major travel headaches and hassles for folks this afternoon because of this storm. Currently, there is a ground stop at Bush Intercontinental in place until at least 2:30 this afternoon. According to the FAA, the average delays for flights at this hour are averaging 75 minutes, and there is a note that that could be increasing. Obviously, you have a schedule of planes to depart. When those start to get backed up, it creates a domino effect. So a lot of headache and havoc on the north side for travelers departing and coming into Bush Intercontinental. So make sure to check with your airline in terms of the latest for your specific flight. No major reports of damage thus far, but we are actively monitoring various first responding agencies. We did get a report from the Cypress Fire Department saying it had some reports of traffic signal lights that were out around Highway 290 and Telge. Fire Department officials telling us they do believe that it is weather related. They are trying to get us some video of that scene, but so far at least, no reports of any major damage to any businesses, to any homes, which is good news. But obviously the heart of this storm, as we've seen from Chris tracking it this afternoon, is right above basically Bush Intercontinental right now. And again, the reason for the ground stop at the big airport, at least until 2:30. That ground stop has been in effect, I would say, for at least the past half hour. According to the website FlightAware, there's approximately upwards of 150 flights that are delayed. And of course, as we mentioned, according to the FAA, the average delay for those flights, 75 minutes. And there is also a note that the probability of extending this ground stop is medium, around 40 to 60% of increasing and extending that ground stop. So we will keep tabs on that in terms of the FAA and travel arrangements at Bush Intercontinental. Chris, we're going to send it back to you, and this is still moving in a northeasterly direction, I see.
Right, it is. It is still moving northeast. We've seen way less lightning with this storm as it was just about a few minutes ago, and that's a sign that the storm is weakening a bit, but there is still rotation with this currently, as you're seeing some of the heavier rainfall now approaching the Grand Parkway and I-45 area. So you're able to see the lightning as the lightning strikes start decreasing or becoming less frequent. That's really just a sign that the storm is is weakening, but we are still tracking some rotation with this storm as we go into the next couple of minutes. So definitely expecting those conditions to still be very hazardous out there. I think the rotation has really well broadened currently as it moves over 45, I-45 and the Spring area, which is very good news. But the National Weather Service, we've seen this storm show a history of just very strengthening and weakening, a cycle of strengthening and weakening as we head into within the past 30 minutes to an hour. So they're going to go ahead and still keep that tornado warning in place for 2:30 in the afternoon. And we're now starting to see roadway conditions, especially along 45 and the Grand Parkway. This is 45 in Cypress Wood, even north, just to the north of the Loetta, 245 and Loetta area. And so just keep in mind that if you are moving off towards portions of northern Harris County, this storm is actually heading closer towards for portions of I-69, just south of Cut and Shoot. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a bit here so we can see what's happening elsewhere. It's looking likely that we're seeing another storm starting to approach the city of Houston from the south of downtown. And so this is a little bit, this is not showing any rotation or it's not severe right now, but just keep in mind that if you are in Houston, in the center portions of town, that you do have some heavy rain coming our way within the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes as we see a couple of lightning strikes with that storm to the south of downtown Houston. But our main priority right now is what's happening north of town, which is this does still have that tornado warning until 2:30 this afternoon. And so we are expecting this to continue at least until the next few minutes here. And so we have seen some confirmed reports of just this rotating cloud that was moving over the 249 area. It's very likely that this is no longer happening with this storm, but as we look at the situation in terms of the area, we are expecting that to continue. Now, this the strongest part of the storm is now moving into portions of southern Montgomery County as we head into the next few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and look at the confirmed report right now with train spotter reports. Did spot a tornado in around the 249 area. I didn't see any debris signatures on our debris detector, but that doesn't mean that didn't happen. But we are expecting this to continue. It's more of a northeastern track, especially along 45 and the Grand Parkway. And like I said, we've seen less lightning with this storm within the past 5 to 10 minutes. And this is a sign that this individual storm right here is weakening. And so, but like I said, we've seen the history of this storm just going through a cycle of weakening and strengthening as it was over western Harris County, but now we are still seeing this weaken, just sort of weaken a bit, and then it very well could come into contact with some more unstable air as it travels to the northeast, north and around the Kingwood area. And so just keep in mind that just south of Cleveland, you're going to start seeing the impacts from this storm here along I-69 within the next few minutes, and as we head into the next few minutes here across our area. So definitely still watching this tornado warned storm. We're still staying on the air with you, so you are still informed of the weather impacts that are currently happening across our area. But just keep in mind also that the tornado warning or the tornado watch, however, is going to be in place at least until, I believe it's going to be in place until 7 p.m. tonight, as these line of storms are still approaching from the west. And this is all a part of this initial boundary that's currently moving through portions of central Texas. And so I think 45 right now, I know as we're getting into a high travel period, and you might want to, if you're heading towards Dallas, there is some strong storms even south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but even Huntsville looking at a strong storm or two that is now moving into that situation. And so it's looking like we're hearing some damage reports currently that are now coming into the newsroom. We'll go ahead and send it back over to Jeremy Rogowski on the latest.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we have 2 damage reports. The first coming from Emergency Services District 11, a public information spokesperson there. This is on Stubner Airline in Spring, saying that their building was one of their outbuildings on the property at ESD 11 was just hit. Don't have a estimate on it says it was destroyed, one of their outbuildings on that property, and that spokesperson describes it as small debris floating from the sky like pool floaties. Again, this is on the 18,000 block of Stubner Airline in Spring. Also coming in from the Harris County Flood Control District, and meteorologist Jeff Lindner, possible reports of structure damage near Loetta, east of 249 and Klein. So we're beginning to see some reports of some structure damage, one on Stubner Airline in the Spring area, one just east of 249 and Klein near Luletta Road. Chris, this is the area that I would say now past the heart of that storm, passed over about 10 minutes ago. Hopefully, as you mentioned, that the storm is weakening. We don't see any more damage reports. But again, 2 coming in so far. Possible structure damage east of 249 near Luletta in Spring, and an outbuilding belonging to the Emergency Services District number 11 on Stubner Airline was destroyed.